You ready?
Yes.
You sure?
Maybe. Good morning.
You don't sound ready.
It's morning.
You sound ready for break, which is almost here. Good
almost
morning.
here. So close. Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca. We flipped.
We have.
I didn't plan that, but she took over.
I didn't either.
That's okay. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm ready for break. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in really, for our neck of the woods, pretty chilly and overcast, Brevard, North Carolina.
Liz, I'm a minion there.
I meant to put on a little cowl or something and I forgot. So I'm staring at my neckline.
Oh, well.
Yeah, last week it was 70 in the middle of the day, right? Right now it's 34 degrees outside. I know, yep. Donna, shout out to Donna. It is colder where you are, fully aware, and we're not there. But I appreciate that you're all bundled up in your warm woolies. Probably
we'll probably get colder in January.
Coffee. Colder. It was in the 20s. I know it can get colder here, but it was in the 20s overnight the past few nights. What? So glad.
Eventually I will. I mean, every year there's how far can I go barefoot, or with the minimal amount of stuff on my feet. And
oh my God,
every year it's like, oh, I should wear socks today.
All the remnants of the Echo Point kits are here. Which I'll only be using these moving forward to refill kits that we've made if we have the yarn to refill them. I realized I'm gonna squirrel because we don't have all that much to talk about in terms of our progress today because we narrowed down on only a few things. We didn't make any kits with Patagonia cream because it didn't seem to work with the other yarns we had. So you can build your own kit with this. We might show off some more kit combos that we made, but they're all packaged up. So they may or may not, you may or may not see good color, but if we need filler today, like we run out of things to talk about, but we could, we'll show you off some kits. And if we don't show them off today, we might show them off some other time this week, because this week's schedule is going to be a little non-traditional in that usually on Wednesday we talk about what's on sale for the week, but we won't be open next week. So stay tuned for surprises for tomorrow. Maybe. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's not that exciting. I don't know. But all right, I'm debating putting on a cowl because I'm being distracted by myself. But
it's okay. I'm almost done with this row and then I'm going to show it off. So
there's a really cool thing she's going to show off, and I'm like less than half a row away from finishing on the bonus rows my Charlotte's Universe, my big giant crochet behemoth, and I brought it in today. The cat tried to sleep on it and was annoyed when I was packing it up to bring it in today. So I'm gonna let Liz show that off because both of us need to hold up the crochet, but that's not big enough. It's gonna be, but it's not big enough yet to need both of us to hold it up.
So there has been questions, and are you? And yes, I am. And super bulky Papillon on size 17 needles. So it is.
That's just insane and awesome. And
that's how big. Just section 1 and 2 and row 5 of section 3. And hold on, I brought.
I was gonna say, do we have a regular one to compare it to?
Yes, this one is DK on size 9.
How does that work? Does that look okay?
That looks fine.
Okay, good. I just want to be done.
This is DK on size 9.
I need a break. Yeah, so that right there is
my yellow.
The yellow. It's crazy.
It goes all the way down to 9.
That's almost touching the end of section 1.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So you were saying you're going to do the first 2 sections. Do you really think you're going to be able to get even the 2 sections of the 3?
Hoping.
She's hoping to get down to there.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
Rebecca's
like,
pretty sure I'm not gonna get past section 1.
I think section 1 for most people would be already be a regular size shawl.
Depending on how big
Liz
it gets.
is not most people.
I would like to try and get to the bottom of 15 because that will give me a flat edge to play with. So 1.5 sections, if not 2. But we're gonna try.
That's awesome. I just remembered, not that I had forgotten, I really hadn't, but I just suddenly, I was thinking about the day and how we did all this work on kits. So maybe I don't have to stress today. We got Daydream Dye Works in last week, which is wonderful. And I'm very happy and I'm very excited. And that's a great thing, but it means I need to photograph it all today. I'm looking forward to break. I'm going to miss y'all horribly, but I'm looking forward to break. But that's going to be my job today. That's even another thing we could hold up sometime this week is Pretty Colors of Daydream. There's so many things we could do. You should let us know if we don't do something you're hoping we're going to do. You should let us know. And maybe we have 3 opportunities this week to fill, and we have things that could fill them. But you know, that's the advantage of writing comments on the videos, is then we might actually do what you're asking. We also might go, that's wonderful, but no. It's a trap, right?
Such a trap.
Yeah, this keeps unzeroing. I want to see how much yarn I have left from my crochet. Let me just do the crochet now, and then we'll
I
just
have a couple other things I can show off too.
We'll show them off then.
Well,
I would like to give you the floor because I usually take up way too much time on this.
So not a thing.
So not a thing.
I am already to the ribbing.
I always forget that that's done in like the back to the front is done in one piece.
So back and 2 fronts, and I'm to the ribbing. So a few more rows of ribbing, and
then you're gonna do the sleeves,
and then you pick up for the sleeves.
And they're supposed to be sweaters like this
done in a circle or in the round, but I am doing them flat, and then
so that you don't have to purl.
So I don't have to purl,
because that's the thing.
So that one's almost done. It should
beautiful.
be done tonight or tomorrow.
And that's the Ushia, right?
That's the Ushia.
That's lovely, lovely, fluffy Ushia.
Have a red sweater.
There was a new QI. The Christmas QI from this season was just published, and I haven't finished watching it, but they were talking about how snow, they're like, what is snow mostly made of? It's mostly made of air. And it made me think, like, the reason you make igloos out of snow and not ice is like, it's that whole, it traps air inside, and it's an insulator, and it's warm. And that made me think of our Ushia.
Yes.
Because the chainette,
all the chainette
yarns, like you're double stranding the Sisa, there are thinner chainette to be the contrast in your Papillon. They're light, but they're warm. Just like snow, you wouldn't think snow could keep people warm. You would think a super bulky yarn could keep people warm, but you wouldn't think that it would also not be super heavy.
And when we were in Colorado, our neighbors, his unit always went out to the field like in April, and you know, you lay your sleeping bag out, you go to bed, and you wake up really warm because it snowed 4 inches in the middle of the night, and it insulates.
It insulates you.
Yeah.
Warm and wet. Maybe. Yeah.
Well, the sleeping bag kind of helps with the not wet, but you know.
Well, yeah.
So the other thing I did,
that's
my
right.
Christmas hair.
She's got her Christmas hair. That's just so long and lovely, and apparently going to be shedding glitter on us.
It sheds week, Angelina.
But that's okay.
All week. So,
but that's okay because then we'll be glittery. She wasn't sure about the glitter.
I'm still not sure about the glitter.
Too late.
It is now, like, I'm finding it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Well,
that is what happens with glitter.
Although
it doesn't happen with Daydream Dye Works yarn, but that's because there's a higher twist into it.
When it's spun, it stays. When it's just kind of felted,
it matches your dress. I love it. The bright green in that matches her dress. When it's felted, it's not. It's bright like
greens.
It's like glitter on the top of a greeting card, rather than being like behind plastic or something. It's gonna flake off. So I think it's almost like having fairy hair that
it is a lot like fairy hair, only it's finer.
It's finer, so it's gonna get on stuff.
Like I told Rebecca when I went outside.
That's why you should be okay with it. You like fairy hair.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I'm just being difficult.
Well, I pulled a piece off of my mask before I put my mask on, and I was outside, and I let it go, and it just kind of hovered in the air. It didn't fall. It's there. It's not glitter. It's the Angelina stuff. It's like super
I see
fun.
it all over your dress.
Oh yeah. Which
just makes the little
everywhere.
kitties who come by.
Look, it's on my sweater.
It's all the little kitties who might be out in the plaza today with their parents are gonna think you look even more like A, a princess, or B, Mrs. Claus, or C, the amalgamation of the two. They're gonna be like, it's a Princess Mrs. Claus. Oh my gosh, my mind is blown. But they don't say anything. What they do is they go. And they watch her walk by. It's really cute.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing.
And then they're gonna see Princess Claus with a cigarette and be like, but that's the 3 to 5.
It's a thing. Yeah.
It's just humorous. So okay. Let's do mine.
You work on.
I decided that it's about time for my crochet to be done. So I worked like all weekend. Like that's all I worked on when I wasn't working on shop stuff, because oh my gosh, I'm always working on shop stuff. But around the edges, I was like, I can get this done. And then so I think when I talked to y'all, or maybe it was on knit night, I only had like 3 rows to go, right? But they were the forever rows to go all the way around. And on the last gray row, I ran out of gray and I had to crack open a new skein. And on the last pink row, I ran out of pink, the rose, and I had to open a new skein. And on the last blue row, I ran out of blue and I had to start a new skein. And I was like, so there are these bonus rows. And I said, it is a trap. And if I wanted it done, I could have been done a day or so ago. But I had these skeins I'd used like 10 grams of, if that. And the bonus rows are actually really pretty. So I have 1.5 sides left on the last of the 3 bonus rows. I'm going to show y'all. It's actually really cool what she had you do. Like someone said on Instagram, they're like, bonus rows are so worth it. And I was like, because the end rows of the blanket, they're kind of boring. I mean, they're good. You need structure around the outside, but they're not as exciting as some of the rows in the center, which have made this beautiful. And the bonus rows, there's like a setup row of just half double crochets. Not super exciting. Then there's a row where every 3rd stitch you are putting in 5 double crochets and then chaining 2, 5 double. So it's all, and it takes a lot of yarn. I still have blue yarn left though. I use the skein I have the most of for that, just in case. I probably still have at least half a skein of each yarn left, and we're going to measure that today. But then the final row, which I could have used any color for these, and I see that. She thinks I don't, and there's a lot I probably don't, but I saw that. The final row, you're doing half double crochets in the chain spaces, and then you're doing a front post half double crochet under all 5, which takes the 5 and makes them go whoop into like basically a popcorn. What you could do on that row, like the blue row with the yarn, then you're doing it with the pink. What I'm using is pink on the last row, and it's kind of cool. And it takes all the that I just did and tightens it all up. It's pretty cool. So you get to see both today, though, kind of from a distance. If you want to see it close up, you have to go to my Instagram and look at my close up photos. Or I'll probably put some in the next newsletter I write, if I'm doing a newsletter next week, because I'm going on vacation. But knowing me, I'm still going to put a newsletter out. It's just going to be short.
That you could forego a newsletter next week.
I know, but it will hurt my soul. My business soul, not my actual soul.
We'll start working on your newsletter for the first week in January.
Maybe that one will be huge.
Because you'll have lots of fun stuff to put in it.
Yeah, part of me wants to put out a newsletter next week just saying, remember I'm on vacation, bye. That's work, isn't it? I'm supposed to not be working.
Yeah.
I just did. This is so ironic, if that's a proper use of the word, because I never know what is anymore. Because my tips and tricks yesterday was about self-care and about not pushing yourself too hard. Kind of like I didn't actually use those words, but that's what I meant. And how I struggle with it too. I am not preaching from the guru mountaintop of here's what you should do and you can join me up here on enlightenment. It was, these are things I know and I'm aware of and I have trouble doing. So yeah. So go watch that too. All right, let's get this sucker out. I'm gonna hang on.
It's nice that you've moved it out of its sleeping bag.
Oh God, it hasn't fit in that sleeping bag for I can't even tell you how long. It's barely fit in this for a while. So you have to be very careful with this, or I just have to redo some stuff, whatever. I have to fold it up so that it fits in this thing. Here's what I have left of my last skeins, the skeins I had to break up, by the way. Here's what I have left of the pink. All right. I'm trying to find, haha. No, yes, okay. Is that the front? Yes, that's the front. Okay. How about, I'm gonna give you this corner because this is the halfway done corner.
Okay.
Or this is where I'm at right now. These are, before we hold it up way far back, these are the little popcorns that are created.
Oh, that is so cool.
Like this is the floppy. That's the popcorny. Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
Apparently it was the ending for a crochet along she did a while back that it's the bonus ending for this one because it's kind of fun. If I hadn't done the bonus rows, it would have stopped with the blue right here, under here. But instead I'm doing rows with all the colors on the edge. Okay, so no show notes, people. We didn't rehearse this because we don't have time for rehearsing. Are you kidding? So don't worry about that. Oh my gosh, this thing is huge.
We're holding it like 1.5 feet above our heads.
It's still dragging on the floor.
Still dragging on the floor.
It's probably at least 7 feet wide. But see, Liz's side has the cute popcorns on the edge, and this side doesn't.
Has the little waffle.
This has the so that I still have to do. So I have to go from where Liz is all the way across to here. This will probably happen during knit night tonight. I'm gonna try to get it done during knit night. So from Liz to this corner, and then this whole side still needs the popcorny, waffly, taking waffles into popcorns. So, wow. It's, oh my gosh, this thing is huge.
It is so ginormous.
It is not coming with me on my trip. It will not fit in my carry-on. So I'm finishing it before we go because I want a sense of finality before my trip. So, all right, let's see how much I have left. Okay, I wanted a shawl. This is one skein. This is fingering weight. This is a light shawl. I wanted a shawl on to cover my neck, and now I'm hot. So, all right, put this.
Big pile.
Big pile. Okay, it's covering like half the table. So, okay, zeroed the scale. Here is the gray. I probably used the most of on the regular blanket and then did a little row on the bonus rounds. And this is my 9th skein of the gray, by the way. I think I have at least 3 skeins probably of the new dye lot. And 51 grams. So I have half a skein. We could make some minion bags of mystery we can get 2 minion bags of mystery out of this. Because again, remind our audience what the minion bags of mystery are.
Minion bag of mystery is 5 25-gram balls for $10. Leftovers from Rebecca's projects.
So 2 minion bags could have 25 grams of this. The blue is the one I use the most of, probably, because on the bonus rounds, because it is the one I use the least of on the blanket of this skein. 42 grams left of the blue. So we at least 1 bag of mini bag of mystery. There could be an oops remnant. Yeah. Okay. I still have almost 2 sides to go. Not quite. More than 1.5, like I said earlier, though, when we held it up. Help me realize that. I have 75 grams left. If I'm lucky, I'll have 50 grams of this left. It's not using as much yarn as the blue. So I could very well have half a skein of this left. But total in this blanket, I've had to crack into 9 balls of this, 4 balls of this, and 3 balls of this. So a lot of yarn. A beyond literal butt ton
grams of that.
And I found an earlier post where I'm like, it's probably going to take me about 16 skeins of this stuff. And what's the math on what it's about 16. I was guessing, and I was like, that's ridiculous. It's not going to take me that much. I thought it was going to take me less. I think I was overestimating with the 16. It took me 16 skeins of yarn. And these are about $20 a ball, and they're going up in price. Like everything's going up in price, especially in the new year. So these are $20 a ball. I don't even want to think about the math of how much. And this was $16.50 a ball from our shop. I don't even want to think about the math of
it would be a fantastic stash busting blanket where every row is different, or you go until you run out of yarn and add on, especially if you have a lot of fingering weight or whatever. Just go.
Don't worry if it gets around. Yeah. Just use scraps, do fun things. I'm trying to make an heirloom masterpiece. You can make something beautiful.
Yeah.
Without, oops.
It's a lot of balls of yarn.
It's about $300 of yarn. Not as bad as I thought, but still. No. Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So at least $300 worth of yarn in this blanket. And I will probably take it home for me and my cat at times, and sometimes have it here in the shop. So, because again, we're not sure where to put it because it's at least a good 7 feet plus across. And we do have wall space, actually up over the art supplies, there is wall space. But to have it hang and not stretch out and not get the loose loopy things, and we'd have to put so much on the wall, and it'd be so heavy on the wall, and
it would not do the blanket justice to be hanging on a wall.
I'd rather just hold it up when people come in and ask to see it, or have it over one of the chairs so people can go, ooh, and I could say, but wait, there's more because it's folded up. So yeah, that's what I've been working on basically all weekend. I did bring, this is going to be so anticlimactic after that. I was reminded, I pulled some stuff out of retirement just to have a couple of other, before I decided to do this, have this be what we're going to finish. I worked on a couple other things this week, and one was pulling old things out of retirement for filler because I hadn't made progress on anything. And this is my ZickZack.
It looks so cool.
It's modified from the actual pattern. So this is super, super easy pattern. It's by Christy Kamm, I think, but Z-I-C-K Z-A-C-K scarf. I always spell it wrong and have the hardest time finding it on Ravelry. I'll try to put a link in the description. The pattern is written for fingering weight and for 2 color changing yarns like the feeder brook, but fingering weight. And I remember I was like, because I saw these 2 colors together. It's feeder brook critical mass, which now looks completely different. not completely different, but a lot different than mine. And Fiber Spates Grape. And I was like, ooh, I have to do something with that. So these are thicker than the pattern's written for. So I cut down on the number of zigzags that are in it. So it wouldn't be ridiculously wide because I'm using a thicker yarn and a bigger needle. But I've got one solid or tonal and one color changing, and it's really kind of fun. I was thinking if I don't tend to make things twice, but if I did, and I actually tried this with a fingering weight, I think with 2 colors of Perth, especially now that we have the lighter colors of Perth,
it would look awesome.
It could look cool because both of the zigzags, both colors in the zigzag would change. That's the whole idea, is you get like, it's kind of like doing the night shift. And we have a couple of lighter colors of Perth, and we have colors of the Cascade Heritage Wave you can throw into the mix. And so you can do it with 2 fingering weights and have it look awesome. I'm tempted, but I have so many things on my to-do list that it's probably not going to happen. I can't remember if I showed this off. I got further. Did I show this one off last week?
I think we did.
Well, I'm showing it off again.
It's cool.
It's on my short list of what I might bring with me to Illinois to work on. My Rosa Canina, to see the colors and where it's changing with the feeder brook again. So that's one of my dilemmas right now, is what to bring on my trip, because I only have so much room in my suitcase and I want to start new sweaters, but I also want to finish old projects, and dilemma, serious dilemma. So that could be something we talk about this week, is what to do. What am I going to bring with me on my trip? I have so many projects that are going so far, you know? But let's see, we have about 10 minutes left. What do we want to talk about? We have so many different options.
We do.
But not projects, because we have already covered our projects completely and totally.
Yeah, they were like not half-hearted and sad this weekend, because I mean, it takes forever to get through a row.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's amazing progress, but it's not as many things as we usually show off, right?
No.
Like I have to remember and plan and decide what colors I want to use for my Lily Kate Makes Axis sweater.
Yes.
That could be another day. Remember, speaking of this week, another day. Tomorrow, it's not going to be a regular VSC. And so we're not going to be showing off things that will be marked 15% off, but we are going to talk about other sale opportunities. And I'm thinking we can save showing off more of the Echo Point kits until tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to rush that, because again, we only have about 10 minutes. We might wrap up kind of early. Sometime this week we could show off different options for the Lily Kate Makes Axis sweater that I want to make, and then I'll ask y'all what you think, and then I'll probably decide what I want anyway, which I don't know what I want, but y'all can vote, but I may not pick what you want. So that's the problem. I want to ask advice, but then I want to make my own decision.
And we've been, like
most of our customers, they just won't admit it.
Just busy enough that like we haven't had time to actually stop and think. And
I don't even know what combo I'm doing for my Echo Point for the knit along. I have no brain power for that right now. So if anyone's like, I'm gonna wait until Rebecca makes her decision, I don't know. There's a really good chance I'm just going to come back on the 4th and go, look what we have left. That looks cool. I mean, most, if not all, the kits we're making are ones that I would be happy to make. Like we wouldn't bundle them together unless it was something that I would be happy to work with, you know, even if it's not my colors.
It's not out of spite that you're not choosing a color, or, you know, we haven't had time.
Yeah, I'm sitting here going,
it's
no, I have no, I'm so
we
tired.
Generally pick projects when the shop is like
dead.
And
there's been times this month it's been slow, but it's never been dead. So we haven't had time to do that. Yeah. Like, again, I haven't had time to
projects, other
colors
things
for my sweaters. And yes. So,
there was a point on Saturday I was like, hey, can we just be done with kits? Because
I should have said yes, but I didn't. because
we have a lot of kids.
I'm an overachiever.
Fantastic. And she has so many dreams.
But with all these kits, I'm like, but we didn't do this and we didn't do that. And we could have made one with this color. And y'all are going to have to pick out from what's left. If you don't like our kit combos, but you love the yarn, you're going to have to pick out your own. And we've already had some people who've done that. And that's wonderful. And we're not replicating their combos because they picked them out. And while they're gorgeous, it's like, if you want something, you give it a try. Yeah. So we're not going to like copyright their combos and then try to sell them off online because they pick something unique. And even if you pick a combo that someone else has decides to get as well, because we have enough to refill the combo, yours is probably going to look different because there's a good chance that you're going to use the colors in a different combination. We're not prescribing. We have ideas in mind of when we put it together of, well, you could do this, but we're in no way prescribing that you have to use them in a certain order. We're trying to give you enough so you can use them in any combination of 5 that you want. So let's go through the schedule and maybe I'll share with you. I had a one mousecapade happen. It wasn't very exciting, but it is a story I can share with you and we can wrap up for the day. Because then I think this is good filler. The mousecapades, maybe.
Everybody likes mousecapades.
Yeah, but will they be upset this isn't on a Thursday? I don't know. Anyway, so we have our last knit night of 2021. I'll get there, but you can fill in too. It's okay. That's tonight. So you should come join us tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. on Zoom, Eastern Standard Time. That is. How do they find us on Zoom, Liz?
The shop phone number is the code to get in. It's 828-877-3550.
We're gonna have to relearn that after break. Okay, so come join us from 7 to 9 p.m. tonight. And tomorrow is not really a full-fledged VSC. So if you don't normally watch the VSC, you might want to watch tomorrow because it's probably just going to be a little more random. And we'll be talking about the Echo Point kits most likely and whatever else we feel like talking about. So, and then Thursday, dear Becky and Lizzie, we have one question.
We have one question so far.
Okay. And we have filler. We always have filler. You know us. And then we go on break for a little while. Yay. So we will not be filming next week in any formal capacity.
We won't have sit and stitch on Friday night.
We won't have sit and stitch this Friday or next Tuesday and Friday. We will pick back up with Tuesday the 4th, which is the first day we will be back in the shop. Yep. And by that point of the evening, it'll feel like we didn't have a break. But
plan on it.
So I've been thinking about how, like, since the last mousecapade stories, there's been no evidence of mice in my house, at least in terms of the cat. And I have seen a little bit of mouse poopies in the kitchen when I was cleaning this weekend. Not a lot, just little. And I was like, oh, they're not gone. Crap. So 2 nights ago, I hear like the cat jumps off the bed as I'm settling in to go to sleep, and he starts running around the upstairs. And I'm just like, no, I am not getting up. I usually don't get up unless I hear squeaking. And I'm like, maybe he'll chase them enough that they'll run away and I won't have to worry about it. And I fell asleep finally. And I woke up in the morning and the cat seems content and, so maybe they left. And then I hear him running around again in the morning. I was like, And I thought he was downstairs, but he was upstairs. And I'm just like, oh, there's the mouse. There it is. I don't know if it's Peter Parker. I did not see any acrobatics. I cannot guarantee it was Peter Parker. But he was running around a lot of stuff in the second room upstairs. And I got my little laundry bag. I'm ready. I got my hand in it. I'm ready to grab him. And the cat's on one side of the cat treat box behind where all his little toys are. And I'm on the other side and I'm coming in to get him. And he runs towards the cat. And I'm like, that's not, but no, mouse, you don't want to do that. And all of a sudden the cat ducks out of the room. And I'm like, oh, that means when he ducks out of the room and goes downstairs, that means he has caught the mouse.
He got the mouse.
And I look over the banister down at him and he looks up at me. And there's something hanging out of his mouth. And I'm like, crap. Like, okay, I'm coming to get it. I really do think that in the morning, the cat was like, when he started chasing the mouse, he's like, come on, mom. I forgot like the best part. of trying to get through all this. I think I'm remembering a couple things out of order, which is, you know, commonplace. That surprise. When I woke up in the morning, the cat wasn't running around. He was trying to get in my closet, which is open like this much. And I never go in there. It's got all the shoes and all the dresses and all the teacherly type clothes that I don't wear anymore. So it's open this far, and my laundry basket's sitting in front of it on the floor, which means his 15-pound butt can't fit in there. And he was trying to like worm his way into the closet. And he's looking over me like, come on, Mom, we got to do this. And I'm like, the mouse is in my closet, isn't he? He's in my shoes. Great. They're shoes I don't wear anymore, but he's in my shoes. And he finally pushed it just enough to get in there. Just to get in there. And I'm like, I'm not going in there, cat. I'm not. And that could have been when I forget if he chased into the other room, or if at that point he went downstairs. I can't remember. It was a whole 2 days ago. But
I didn't even hear this story. No,
I haven't shared it with her yet. But I go downstairs and I'm trying to get it out of his mouth, and he's grumbling. He's doing the and he drops it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Because it's gone now. And that might have been where we had the tussle and the upstairs and the downstairs. And at one point the mouse starts running away. And I'm like, we're never going to find it now because it's downstairs and there's so much crap downstairs. And he goes over next to the pantry, and the mouse actually does the defensive thing of rolling on its back and going like this when the cat gets too close to him. And I'm trying to scoop him up. And the mouse is like, rah, and he gets back in the cat's jaws a second time. And I'm like, this is just, and I think it was in trying to pull him out of the cat's jaws and having him drop on the floor. And then I eventually got him in the laundry bag. I did. And the cat's like, what? And I took him outside to Mouse Island, and I came back inside, and the cat is still like, I thought we were going to play. You know, like, what?
You took my best friend away.
I know. You took the friend who was like, when he saw me coming. But I gave him some treats. I think we're okay. And my phone is trying to ring. And we're going to, between the shop phone ringing and my cell phone ringing, which we can't see ourselves when my cell phone rings, I think it's time to go.
Yeah.
So I have rescued another mouse that probably went right back inside the house. And we'll see what happens while I'm gone. Avi will have to entertain himself. And the pet sitters who are coming over know that he may or may not want company. He will want company, but he'll be territorial about having company. So it's going to be a hot mess. We will see y'all tomorrow. We will show off some beautiful Echo. I want to make them all the Echo Point kits that we put together.
She does. She really, really does.
I wish I have to clone myself or just have more hands so I can have 3 things going at once. And we wish you all the best. We hope y'all are surviving this last week before the holidays if you celebrate Christmas, because oh my gosh, it's insane. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell, Patreon, all that fun stuff. Yay.
Yes. Oh, we're almost to 660 subscribers. We are inching closer to 700. So please subscribe. It's a free way to help us. And it actually benefits you because y'all get an internet sale and a YouTube only sale if we hit 700. And Patreon's a way that you can actually financially support us if you would like to, but there's no pressure there. Patreon.com/sundragon. And what everything Liz said,